How y'all doing this afternoon? I am my beautiful ones, my wise ones, my melanated ones. I'm in a place. This is Wisdom Reborn, and today again is March the 19th. So I'm making jewelry, something I've been doing for years and years. It's a hobby of mine. Um, yeah, it's a hobby of mine. But as I'm sitting here and I'm doing jewelry, I got a question that I want to ask. And I want to give my thoughts on a couple of things. And I thought this would be the perfect time for me to do so. So, my question is, at what point do we determine that there has to be more that we can do? Maybe not, maybe that's not the exact way I need to put it. Maybe the question should be, at what point do we need to decide that we need to do something different for our children and our grandchildren and our great grandchildren? And I'm asking because I don't get out of the house much, and I don't talk to a whole lot of people. I have all these thoughts going on in my head. And so I thought I would get on here and see if I could spark up a topic that could lead to some thought that could promote some change. So my question is, because isn't that the objective? To make sure we leave this world in a better place for our grandchildren? Because if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know exactly where it's at, it's somewhere in the ancient text, it says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And I'm just curious to know if we think that inheritance is, I don't know what we think that inheritance is. I understand we can leave land. I understand we can leave homes, cars, money, stocks, and all of those things. But because we live in an environment or in a society where the stock market is falling at a rate that's almost like an avalanche, and we've come to the conclusion that we can't trust a lot of the major department stores and major we can't even trust the medication that they give us, right? So we can't trust the food that they feed us, because now they're spending a lot of money in laboratories creating vegetables that cannot be recreated because they don't have seeds in them. So the only way you can recreate those is in another laboratory, and we don't have laboratories to create seedless oranges and grapes and cucumbers. So we will be forced to consume the things that they give us. So we can't even trust that. So I'm building a case here. Y'all. So if we can't trust those things, and those are major things to us. We can't trust the medication that they give us, because one medication might have 4,000 side effects. It might help with one thing, but chances are, like they gave me some medication to help with pain, nerve pain, because I have fibromyalgia, which is an illness that a lot of it has been connected to childhood trauma. So it affects the way the body processes information. So sometimes I just have pain for no reason, because my brain wants to process something and it makes my nerves overactive. So one of the medications that they gave me was to calm down the nervousness, the overactive nerves, which is not really nervousness, it's like pain, to calm it down. But one of the side effects for the medication was increased nerve pain. So how is it that you're giving me a medication that can cause my current situation to be even worse? Okay, so everybody don't take prescriptions, but Tylenol will shut down your kidneys. Advil and Aleve, these are over-the-counter medications, will give you ulcers and gastro issues, intestinal issues. So what can we trust? We can trust the fact that if we don't get it together, the next couple of generations are going to be back in bondage for real. We can almost guarantee that. If there is anyone out there, I would love to be able to set it up to where I can have a conversation, to where we can dialogue, interact with one another to discuss these things. Because these conversations have got to be had. If we love each other, you ain't even gotta love me. If we love our children and our children's children, and if we love those people that are in our bloodlines to come, it ain't got nothing to do with the person sitting next to you that you don't know. It's got nothing to do with it's got something to do with our bloodlines. And if we want to think about the ancient text bragged upon who was in the bloodline. They didn't just mention them, they bragged upon them. It is and was a badge of honor to be able to say that you were that I am the child of Roland Heath, the grandchild of Dorothy Heath and Vance Nail, the great-grandchild of Electa Macaulay and Essie Nail. Robert McCorkle, Margaret Gardner McCorkle, Irene and Richard Gardner, Ola and Papa Doc's, what was Papa Doc's real name? Logan McCorkle. It is an honor to be able to say, though I know those people personally, and those people are people in my bloodline. And I got some of the names from way, way back, but what will our great-grandchildren be able to say about us with pride, with honor? What is it? There has to be something. We got to think about these things. We have to start thinking about what's coming up next. Which means we need to start healing the hurt that so many of us walk around in. We need to start forgiving ourselves of the things that we walk around with unforgiveness for ourselves for our parents for our children, friends, whatever else, because it's keeping us from being unforgiving to other people, and we need each other. We need each other. I need you. You need me. That was a song that was sang in church for years and years. Do we understand what the true meaning of it is? We need it. It's time for us to make some decisions, to have some conversations so that we can make some changes. So that we can make sure that these babies that aren't here and these babies that are yet coming don't have to come to where we are now. And I'm not talking about your personal habitat. I'm talking about the world that we live in now. Because despite what your beliefs are, don't matter what your beliefs are, the world out there is going to be the world out there. Our job is to make sure that we are equipped, not necessarily to destroy the things that come before us, the obstacles, but to surpass them. Recognize them when we see them and be able to maneuver to where they don't affect us. So the world ain't gonna get no better. It's not. But we have the opportunity to get a lot better. Better versions of ourselves. Yeah. It has to happen. It has to happen. So I wanted to just throw that out there, because that's what I was thinking at that particular time when I was wrapping that particular stone. The stone that I was wrapping is a red hemalite, and it is a grounding stone. I feel like we are really about to embark on a journey together, all of us. And most of us, a lot of us are just not going to get it. It's going to be a lot of people that just they just not going to get it. And the only reason they don't get it is because they don't open their eyes to see what is in front of them. Because truth is always readily available. Always, always, always. You just got to look at it. You got to be willing to accept what you see. And we all can see the world out there. It don't mean no good for us in this generation. It means no good for our children, the next generation. It means even less good for the next generation, which is my grandchild. And I know it does, because the current administration, the powers that think they are still running everything, are trying to make it very, very hard for them. As hard as they are trying to make it for them, we need to be making sure that it's easier for them. Equipping them with the emotional maturity, the spiritual maturity, and the physical restraint that they're going to need in order to focus and be successful and continue to maneuver in the world that's out there. Yeah. And we got to work on that. We really do. But yeah, we got some things that we need to do. And if we can have the conversations that will promote thought, that will lead to change, we'd be successful. On every angle, we'd be successful. Not just one of us, not just 10% of us, and not 30% of us. But we have to start somewhere. And that somewhere that we start has to be with allowing the truth to make us free. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to be uncomfortable. Because we're going to see things that we never thought in a million years were going to happen. Lies are going to be uncovered that we would have went to our grave swearing was the truth. People are going to be revealed, and life is going to be different. But when I tell you that the truth will make you free, freedom, I heard Malcolm X say, until the black man understands or is ready to pay the cost for freedom, then there will always be a modern day slave. And the reporter asked him, well, Mr. X, what is the cost of freedom? And he said, the cost of freedom is death. When I first heard that, I thought, that's harsh. Why do you have to die in order to live? In order to be free. But one day I realized the death that he was speaking of, I don't think it was like human, like death, like final. I think the death that he was speaking of is death to ego. Death to not paying attention to the truth. Death to understanding that the life we have been living is a lie. And with that comes so many different types of death. But with that also comes so many different kinds of life. So, we say we die daily. We say that's the only way that we can have renewed life, new life, be born again. Wisdom reborn. It's time for us to die from some of this stuff that's got us rotting in. Because that's what it's doing. We're spiritually rotting. Yeah. Whenever one part of our tribe is being neglected and misused and abused, it affects all of our tribe. And that is the thing that they are distracting us with. Part of the thing. And we got to come to a conclusion at some point that the whole tribe has to prosper. The whole tribe. We got to get back to the laws of Ma'at, the universal laws also, so that we can function in a certain level of unity and not in a level of destruction, because we are definitely headed for self-destruction. Here we are. All right, y'all. That's I done got distracted now. I kind of done got hungry. Ain't had nothing but breakfast all day, and it's 5 o'clock. It's definitely time for me to eat. I love y'all. I want us to have conversations that promote change. And thank you to everybody who inboxes and likes and shares and all that good stuff. I appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it. It's good to know that there are people that actually appreciate some of the stuff that I'm saying. And I know that they are, because anytime you think for yourself to a certain degree, then you have to have thoughts and about the things, the circumstances, the situation, the things that surround you. And because we're all living in these environments, we all see it. It's just a matter of, are we willing to admit it? All right, y'all, I love y'all. To my beautiful ones, my wise ones, and my melanated ones, but to especially the beautiful, wise, and melanated ones. Y'all have a good rest of your day.